All right, July 29th, 2019. It's Jamie Medina here. Posted another video on YouTube, 8:45 p.m. So to date, as of today, there have been 248 mass shootings in the United States. We're at 32,075 gun incidents in the United States since January 1st. We've got deaths, 8,475. Injuries, 16,753. And once again, 248 mass shootings. And you hear the same arguments from the same pundits and the same leaders that we have in leadership. Actually, I shouldn't do that. They are leaders. We elected them. They are a direct reflection of us. People complain about the president. I complain myself about Gavin Newsom, even some Congress and senators. But they are a direct reflection of us. Do they seem callous? Do they seem insincere? Do they seem sarcastic? Do they seem like they're distracted? Do they appear to be taking responsibility and accountability for who they are and what they do? No, they deflect, they avoid, they reframe, repackage, and put it out there to the world. They make excuses. Does that sound like you? It sounds like me sometimes. I try my best not to be like that, but yeah, of course, we're all like that. So it's kind of hard. It's hypocritical to sit there and complain about your leadership when it's like looking in a mirror. Let me give you some facts here. As far as I see it, the world as far as I see it. They keep talking about gun control. Great, control it. I think you should absolutely control guns. They have backgrounds now for ammo. Great, they should have backgrounds for ammo and guns. That's how I feel, Jamie. That's how I feel. You're right. Not everybody out there needs an M4. I think there should probably be a lot more strict requirements to get an M4. But possible mental health, background. Maybe we need more mental health professionals as well. But here's one thing that we came up with here at Fixed. I think what's massively lacking, are mentors for young men. You figure pretty much all institutions of education, your middle schools, your primary school, your high school, are predominantly composed of women teachers. Now, that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying the scale is absolutely in favor of more female teachers than are men teachers. Why is that? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I'm sure I could find out. But there's evidence that historically little boys, before they become men, act better, and they do better under male role models, male teachers. Now, it's 2019. There's divorce is so prevalent, and there's a lot of fatherless homes. And then the fatherless home, the kid goes to a male shortage of teachers, male role models. I remember when I was going through school, there's two that I'll never forget: Mr. Donahue, Mr. O'Hara. If you were walking down the hallway and you had your hat turned backward, man, the second you saw them, you're like, yes sir, Mr. O'Hara, yes sir, Mr. Donahue, because the way they carried themselves, they had a command presence about them. They were real men and carried themselves. They were respectful. The men a few words. They didn't need to say any words, but you wanted to be better around them. I'll never forget them. Those men had great influence upon my life. So that kind of led me to believe that we should probably implement some type of a youth mentor program. Now, I presented this to my local school districts and superintendents, and they wanted it like that. They're like, let's do it, let's implement it, go. So what I proposed was implement, in conjunction with the increased background checks with the ammos and the weapons, a youth mentor program that could significantly lower the number of youth-related shootings across the United States. Now what I'm proposing is an on-site program. So these individuals, who, by the way, I would want to select mentors from the special population of individuals who spent a lifetime in service to others. These are your teachers. These are your prior military, prior police, EMS, prior coaches, individuals who are used to serving others. Now, I would like to see them get paid. And when I was talking to the school district here where I live, we were trying to come up with a good number to get them paid. We were going to do it, looking at 4, maybe 5 hours a day, but on site, immersed with the kids. I believe that would be a massive deterrent to substance abuse. It would deter teen violence, bullying, and of course deter school shootings. You wouldn't know where they were. Maybe let's take Mr. Smith, right? We're just going to call one of our mentors Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, one day he's in art class. The other day he's helping out a coach at PE. The other day he's just hanging out and having a coffee, BSing with the kids, or whatever it may be. But the thing is, he doesn't have a pattern of which you can kind of predict where he's going to be. Maybe he's riding on the bus one day. So you get a couple of these mentors per school, immersed in, so the kids get to know them. And like I said, monkey see, monkey do. How they carry themselves is it is going to naturally bleed over and affect these boys. Who are starving for male, positive male influences, which it seems the world has an absolute lack of. Right. So here's the scope. The purpose of the mentor program is to enlist volunteer candidates who maintain a professional bearing, have customs and courtesies, and that command presence that could be a deterrent, right? Responsibility. So we'd have a signed agreement in every local school, wherever this may be launched, school districts and the youth mentors. And, they're permitted to have the flexibility and maneuverability to assist teachers, staff, counselors, academics, and they can facilitate organizing rallies, youth events. Youth mentors, they can act like liaisons between the staff and the students through active listening, observing through immersion. Youth mentors, once again, I go back to that command presence, how they carry themselves, right? How they carry themselves. And that's it's contagious, trust me. And so the prerequisites that I'm looking for this is youth mentors. They'll meet the security guard standards that local school districts have. Like the candidates will be fingerprinted, they'll undergo a criminal background check, pass drug tests. Obviously, we'll check them against the Megan's Law registry. They'll have certain standards they'll have to meet, and these are people who've had a lifetime of meeting standards. So it's a no-brainer to them, right? And once again, there'll be CPR, first aid certified, stuff like that. I think this could help significantly. Now, is this the be all end all? No, it's not. Neither is a fantasy of we need all the guns taken away. We're going to abolish the Second Amendment. That will never happen. Get that out of your head. That will never happen. Make it a little more strict to acquire weapons and acquire ammo. I'm all for that. And this is coming from a retired special operations military guy who spent 17 plus years around guns, weapons of mass destruction. I've seen that. Okay. So we need to implement that. I truly believe that. And I think we should probably start these pilot programs with middle schools or at middle schools because those are the transition years. That's what I believe. And I brought this to my school district, and that's what they believed as well. So, me personally, Jamie, I wish I could do everything. I wish I could be everywhere. I can't. I have a whole another mission at hand, helping my fellow veterans and their families as well through transition. But to me, it was like a no-brainer. It's mentorship. It's even if the kid doesn't have a dad, he has no male influence. Well, he's going to look at. For me, I looked at Mr. O'Hara, I looked at Mr. Donahue, and I could come to these guys for anything, and they'd solve my problems with one or two words. And these are guys who've been there, done that, and you knew it, how they carried themselves. We had a lot less violence. We didn't have mass shootings in 1996 when I graduated. Old guy, right? But you guys, man, oh God, we got to do something, right? And it's actively being involved. It's being involved with these kids and being accessible to them. All they have is their, we're all cyborgs today with our smartphones and smart devices and being influenced by all these different things. At the drop of a dime, you could watch, anything or access anything violent or sexual content or something despicable in nature. But I truly believe that this is a huge part of the equation that you never hear about, at all. And this also rings true for our leadership. Our leadership constantly blame each other. You've got Democrats, Republicans, actively accusing each other of treason. Okay, treason in our own country. Like, that's all you hear, fight, fight. I mean, that's all we do is fight, right? It's disgusting. And our kids see it, and they think that's the way to do it. They think that's the way to live. They think that's the way to conduct themselves. Fight, disrespect, and act like a complete jackass. It's not. It's not okay. It's not okay. And I would love to see this implemented. I'd love to see a fixed youth mentor program implemented. So hopefully it would reduce gun violence, teen violence, bullying, substance abuse. Because, like I said, I believe it's a massive deterrent because as of today, July 29th, 2019, at